The Sea of Galilee churned under a moonless sky. The disciples' small fishing boat pitched and swayed as the wind howled and waves slapped hard against the hull. Hours earlier, Jesus had sent them ahead while he went up the mountain to pray. Now, in the fourth watch of the night, somewhere between 3 and 6 a.m., their arms ached from rowing against the storm. Salt spray stung their faces, and exhaustion blurred their senses. Then, through the mist and shadows, they saw something impossible, a figure walking on the water. Fear ripped through the group. "It's a ghost," they cried, voices trembling. But the figure's reply cut through the wind like a warm blade of light. "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." The voice was unmistakable. It was Jesus. The very waves threatening to swallow them were beneath his feet. Peter, always the first to speak, shouted into the night, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." And Jesus answered with a single word, "Come." Without hesitation, Peter climbed over the side of the boat. The wind still roared, the waves still rose, but somehow the water beneath his feet held firm. Step by step, his eyes locked on Jesus, Peter walked. The air was electric with faith. Each footfall was a miracle in motion. Around him, the storm raged, but it felt far away because his focus was not on the waves but on the one who called him. In that moment, Peter was living the impossible. Faith had bridged the gap between fear and miracle, and the sea was no longer an enemy, but a pathway. Then it happened. Peter's gaze broke. Perhaps a wave crashed higher than the rest, spraying his face, reminding him of where he was. His eyes shifted from Jesus to the wind, and in an instant, faith gave way to fear. The water beneath him, once solid under the promise of Christ, became unstable. His feet sank. Cold water surged up his legs, the sea dragging him down. Panic gripped his chest, and with all the strength he had left, Peter cried out, "Lord, save me." And before the sea could claim him, a hand broke through the storm. Strong, steady, sure. Jesus caught him, lifting him up as easily as a father lifts a child. "You have little faith," Jesus said, not in condemnation, but in a gentle rebuke. "Why did you doubt?" The storm still raged, but in his grip, Peter was safe. They climbed into the boat together, and the moment Jesus' feet touched the deck, the wind ceased. The waves flattened into glass, the sea shimmering under the early dawn light. Silence fell, broken only by the sound of the disciples' breath, and then worship. "Truly you are the Son of God," they said, their voices trembling not from fear, but from awe. Peter sat drenched, his heart pounding, still feeling the lingering grip of the hand that had saved him. He had stepped into the impossible and tasted both the power of faith and the sting of doubt. But in both, Jesus had been there, the unshakable one in the midst of the storm. And from that night on, Peter knew, as long as his eyes were on the Master, the sea could never have the final word.